My presentation is going to be a bit different. I'm not going to talk about a lot of technical things, but rather about the possibilities that we are seeing with ClickHouse. We are experimenting with ClickHouse and what we can build using ClickHouse, right? In the end, we'll definitely talk about why StockGro chose to go with ClickHouse and all. But this is more of there's a small demo attached as well, if it works. I'm going to talk about building AI for financial analysis. That's one of our product that we have launched very recently called StockSo. That's a mascot. What StockGro does, just to give an idea, is 5 years back, StockGro started as a platform for helping people to enter the stock markets, learn about the stock markets without risking their hard-earned capital. That was the vision 5 years back where we started. It's been a long journey. Right now, we are an advisory platform with 100 plus SEBI-registered stock advisors on our platform, which help our users find the right opportunities at the right time, take action on it. Going with that flow, the next thing we definitely thought was with AI coming in, we can actually democratize the whole thing and give the power to the users itself. We are definitely not a stock recommendation platform or anything. We are just a research thing, and that's what we're going to talk about. How we went about building StockSo. Something about me: I'm a founding engineer. Started 5 years back with StockGro. It's been almost 20 years. Been in the industry. Started banking, ad tech. Was with Swiggy for some time. And for the last 5 years, we've been building StockGro. Let's talk about the problems with, using AI for financial markets. We have excellent models. We have ChatGPTs, we have Claudes, we have a lot of models. But these models are trained on data to a certain point in time. Certain models have access to the internet, so they can do a quick web search and, get the information. But mostly, if it's not on the internet, it's going to be stale data. What we are solving is using ClickHouse is we provide our models with the latest data that we have, and we'll see that we can actually go to millisecond levels. Querying a lot of data, like when we talk about financial markets, let's do a back of the envelope calculation. There are some 2,000 stocks in the stock in, let's say, NSE, which is an exchange. Every time a trade happens in the market, there is something called as a tick, which is nothing but, okay, this was the last traded price, this was the volume, and this is the trade that has happened. So when you talk about ticks, and we just assume there are like only 2 trades happening per stock, and we do this for per second, per minute, and to 6 hours, the markets are open for 6.5 hours. We are talking about 85 million data points. And this, I'm just doing a back of the envelope calculation. This number is much larger. When you go across exchanges, it becomes even more. And this, I'm only talking about the exchange, the ticks that are generated, right? Great. I'll continue. And then there is scale, where we have to scale across exchanges. There's not only financial, like candlestick data. When it comes to financial markets, it's about news, it's about notifications, it's what's happening, which company got which order. A lot of data that needs to be analyzed and queried at really millisecond level if you really want to make something useful using AI. When we started building on this journey long back, about 1.5 years back, I guess. That's when ChatGPT and all were coming in the spotlight. We thought, we have this model now. Let's write better prompts on that model. We are going to do some. I'm going to talk about vector searches. So if we need vector search, let's use a database meant for vector search. If you're going to do OLTP, let's use a OLTP database. Let's use Postgres. So we were using different databases for different scenarios, and we were okay with the response time of, okay, I got the answer in like 5, 10, 15 seconds. We were okay with that. It's over time when we started going into production, we started building and we started experimenting, that we realized that it's not one model. You need multiple smaller models which are fine-tuned or, using a RAG approach, are meant for certain things only. That's the only way you can actually achieve that accuracy at the speed you want. It's not about writing better prompts. It's about providing the better data, either to the model while fine-tuning it or while you're using a RAG approach. We felt we are a very small team. So StockGro, my entire backend engineering is, including me, would be 10 people. In fact, 2 of them are sitting somewhere here. So that's 25% of my engineering sitting right here in this room. We didn't want to get into managing multiple databases. We use as much managed infrastructure as we can ClickHouse being one of this, we are using ClickHouse Cloud. But we thought that why not, like, if my use case is being satisfied, do I really need something which is custom built for like vector searches, for example? We'll come to that. I can actually work with databases which provide me everything together. So that's the unified store. And we are using ClickHouse for a long time. Even before AI, we were using it for generating our financial data on StockGro, which is a parent platform. So we were used to the sub-second latencies. Why not bring it to the AI world? I'm going to talk about vectors, like I said. This is just a quick intro for guys who don't know about what vector search is or what vector store is. It's nothing but, think of it as a word. When we search for certain words, we search by the words, maybe a spelling correction here and there. Vector searches can go deeper. It can go about the meaning of the word. What are you trying to say? So imagine a XY scale and say a location. It has a latitude and a longitude. I can actually put in a third dimension, maybe what was the temperature at that latitude, longitude. So now I'm talking XYZ. But vector search is something, and I'm using the most basic thing, which takes this input, HDFC Bank result, and it converts it into a bunch of numbers, which is just an array, and it has like 384 dimensions. Like even the people who build this don't know what these dimensions are, but there are 384 dimensions. So every data point is, you can look at it from 384 angles. When somebody searches, so I had my input was HDFC Bank results, but somebody is searching for banking stocks. Over time, it has learned that banking means HDFC, banking means ICICI, banking means SBI. That's the semantic similarity that vector searches can give you, right? And then it is going to return similar articles. The reason it says articles is because there's a small demo around it. But that's the whole process. Your input text comes in, you convert it to a vector, you store in a database, your query arrives, you again convert it into a vector, calculate the similarity, you return the articles, and that's it. That's the search that comes in. What we're going to try to do is, if this works, I will show you a quick demo. So what's happening here is, let me quickly tell you what this demo is all about. I'm running ClickHouse locally on my laptop. That's the database. There's a Llama 3 model, which is running again using Olama on my laptop, which is generating these random articles. This news is not true. It is just for representative purpose. This is just taken a universe of 20 stocks across, and it is just presenting it. It is generating about 10-15 articles per minute. You can see there are like 1020 articles right now. What we are going to do is, I'm going to just search about, for those who cannot read it, I'm just typed, what do you think about Reliance? And that's the response that I got. The table, I'll come to the table later, but that's the check. From those articles, it went ahead, it figured out the articles which talk about Reliance. Are they talking good, bad? There's a sentiment on the side. The market mood is 0.42. It came up with, so what's happening is, after I get the articles, I'm sending it to an model. This is a GPT open source 20 billion model. These are the articles it came back with. Right? What I want you to focus on is this. My vector search took only 5 milliseconds. This was going through all these articles, figuring out where people are talking about Reliance or maybe the crude oil sector, because Reliance comes from the crude oil sector. My LLM took about a second. So this was a call to the internet, went with that data. So this is a RAG. This is a small RAG that I've built. There's something wrong, but there's a chart that also comes in of Reliance if it finds that data point. What I wanted to show here is, we are using ClickHouse. Now this is coming from ClickHouse running locally, but we are using ClickHouse not only as a vector store, but as an analytics store as well. We will be bringing in charts, the OHLCV data later. And yeah, so it's coming back to that unified store that I spoke about earlier. I can use ClickHouse for multiple things. And right, so there was some news about Sun Pharma. What about Sun Pharma? Again, my vector search just took 5 milliseconds. My LLM took about a second, and it came back with everything that my random articles are generating, right? And with all the sentiment and all. That was a quick demo, although it did not work completely, because there was supposed to be a chart which comes in. It brings in 90 days of candlestick data as well. But I'll keep moving ahead. this was what we just saw. My embedding generation was almost negligible. There are libraries for it. My vector search, which was happening on ClickHouse, took 5 milliseconds. The LLM synthesis anywhere between, depending on the data that I get, is going to take some time. So my overall time, my LLM is the slowest because my ClickHouse is taking just 5 milliseconds. And that's where the power comes in. LLMs are always going to take time. It depends on what inference, where are you running your inference of the models, how big of a model are you using. If this was not a 20 billion model, if this was a 120 billion model, this would have been maybe a 1.5 second kind of response. And that brings me to this slide, that why we chose ClickHouse, why StockGro chose ClickHouse, right? Definitely a unified, like just a comparison. If we were using a traditional multi-database stack, which we were, and to a certain extent we are still using, I'll be talking about 3 databases. Like, I'll either be using a Postgres SQL for my SQL data, or a Mongo, Elasticsearch, a separate vector DB. But with ClickHouse, I can actually bring that all in-house. In fact, I can bring a lot of analytic use cases inside as well. My operations are pretty simple because my engineers are dealing with SQLs here. It's a simple SQL statement that we're writing. It's not about writing Mongo queries separately, Redis calls separately. I can do a lot of things. My data ingestion in ClickHouse, like I said, when it comes to financial markets or financial data, the sooner you can get the data and process the data, the sooner you can derive insights out of it. So my ingestion has to be super fast. We'll talk about it a bit later. A lot of folks have spoken about the compression. It saves a lot. And because I'm pushing in so much data, definitely it helps me to save on space. SQL familiarity, I said. Operationally, it is very simple. We use ClickHouse Cloud, but like I showed you, I'm using ClickHouse locally here. But at StockGro, we use ClickHouse Cloud. And the most important thing is the speed. Everything that is happening in millisecond latencies. In fact, in certain cases, we can actually bring that down as well. Okay, the future of AI. Like I said, we'll have the best of the models out there. We'll have models which are trained at 1/10 of the cost. We have inference layers which are much faster than what normal inference would take. But end of the day, for us, for you and me, to make use of those AI models or AI layers is, can it work on my data, or how nicely can it work with my data, how compatible it is. So the data layer becomes the most important thing, and that's where ClickHouse is supporting us. Earlier, like I mentioned, the models. One model can do all, like a ChatGPT 4.1 or a Claude. The bigger models would do everything, but it's going to take time. So you need smaller models. You need models which are custom built. There are models which are good at reasoning. There are models which are good at following instructions, which are used in agentic. There are models which are good at certain things. So you have to understand that. There was a talk earlier, like once this whole AI thing, people actually started talking about, people are going to lose jobs because AI is going to take over. It's going to write code. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. But I feel, based on our experience, engineering has taken more center stage now. With so much models out there, so much AI out there, how do you make sense? How can you make it super fast, super accurate, super useful to our users? That's where engineering decisions are going to change. There's an interesting talk, I should have mentioned it earlier. I think it's by Andres Karpathy, where he talks about looking at LLMs as a OS, as a operating system, and everything you build on top is going to make the difference. And yes, all this has to happen at super fast speeds. So the speed requirement. Perfect. Now just a few things about StockSo. I should have said this. These slides should have been at the start, but StockSo is StockGro's financial agent. You can access it at stockso.stockgro.club. We use a lot of information that's in the market. Like I said, StockGro has about 100 plus SEBI registered investment advisors on our platform. We use insights from them. We make sure that the data we serve is accurate. It's currently we are on the slower side when you use StockSo, but in the next month or so, you're going to see a major difference. It's real time, and it's far more sophisticated than the demo that I just showed you, which was just about looking at the news and generating some insights. And how does ClickHouse fit in our entire story? First thing, we already saw the vectors and the raw data in ClickHouse. simpler operations, better compression, 100x faster queries. The 50 plus technical indicators is another game changer for us. Our agents, so we have certain agents running in the whole StockGro ecosystem. It's not a single model. Our agents have access to technical indicators. Some of them are running as core logic in the query that goes to ClickHouse. Some of them are written at the application layer but are powered by ClickHouse. These technical indicators respond within milliseconds, like within less than 10 milliseconds, and they can do multi-time frame analysis. Like I can ask, for those of you who know RSI, for example, or MACD, it's a technical indicator. I can actually ask ClickHouse to give me MACD at a 5-minute candle level and at a 3-month candle level as well. So we can keep changing the candle sizes by real-time aggregations and a lot of things. Coming to the ingestion layer, I think the previous talk, Mata spoke about ClickPipes. We have been using ClickPipes for more than a year now. This is a game changer when it comes to ingesting data at actually sub-millisecond level. The faster the data gets into my DB, the faster I can query it, analyze it, and generate insights out of it. And the last part is, yes, because we are building for the Indian stock markets, we are very focused on the Indian stock markets. Our models are trained for the Indian stock markets. So the localized data beats any global model out there, which is talking about finance in general. And that's my talk. Thank you.